You're listening to the iRacers Lounge podcast, where we discuss everything iRacing in a casual setting. Enjoy. Welcome to the iRacers Lounge. I am your host, Mike Ellis. iRacers Lounge is a podcast for the iRacer, where we talk all things iRacing in a casual setting. Joining me are the usual characters, David Flowers, Tony Groves, and William Gibson. Hey, guys.
So,
how's it going, man?
Good evening, fellas.
Hey. Well, week 13, we just finished it up, and boy, what a build with the dirt. I don't think I've raced as much as I have in the last 7 days that I've been racing. It's been fun. So let's get right into it. Global Rallycross, my new favorite thing. I wasn't sure what I would think about it, but it's fun. So let's talk about our first impressions of it. We saw the first day there, I think we saw Christopher Bell in a practice. I think that was you, Tony. You saw him. I took, my second race, didn't even make the feature. I didn't pass through on the consolation race. Tony, you made it to the feature on your first race out and finished P6. Nice run.
Yeah, thanks. That was definitely not due to any kind of skill or anything like that. I just happened to not suck as bad as some of the other guys. The consolation race, there was only 3 of us, and man, we were just crashing everywhere. But you know what? Had a great time doing it.
Yeah, and it's a different experience for sure because the part about sitting out and watching the other heat and the consolation race, like if you've already gone through, that's quite different than, the normal experience. It's kind of like team racing, but yeah, it's different for sure because you have that time to sit down. I kind of like it because I can actually get up out of my seat and go grab a drink or whatever and come back and not miss much,
I haven't run too much of it. I've just been trying to practice because in the couple of practices I've been in, I'm just so much slower than everybody else. It's kind of ridiculous. I'm that bad.
I'm still way off pace. I think, William, you and I were running earlier today, and I think I was 2 seconds off pace in qualifying.
Yeah, I was 2, and the top guys in my split were actually 2 seconds faster than the top guys in your split. So I feel like there's so many people in it that we're getting lots of splits, which is good. But yeah, there's definitely big skill gaps right now.
Yeah. And so for week 13, we were running every hour there. I spent several nights running a bunch of those races. It was pretty much fun. I was enjoying myself. I really couldn't figure out the I rating or SR, mainly because stats are still not working, and I couldn't tell. I couldn't make heads or tails of it because it shows SR for the heat, SR for the feature, and they're different numbers, and so I haven't quite put my finger on it yet. The other interesting thing was strategy on the Joker lap, deciding which one to do, which lap to do it on. Do you wait towards the end? Do you get it done early? Do you do it when you're in heavy traffic? What'd you guys think of Joker?
I did a race last night at, I believe, Lucas Oil Raceway, and I took the Joker right away because it's right there by that first turn. And I went from last to third just by dodging all the wrecks, having that kind of slower entry to that first turn. But at Daytona, I like to kind of take it to make a pass because you gain so much time. So I think it's kind of just based track by track. You kind of want to take it different each race.
Yeah, sometimes it's good for you, and other times it's not really good for you. Well, I've had a blast with it so far.
I haven't done it yet. I mean, like everything I've seen, it looks cool. It definitely plays better than the videos made it look. I don't know. I've stuck more to the oval side, and I've really enjoyed that. My only complaint with the oval side is just you have such swings in safety rating. I went from like a 2.1 down to a 1.2, and now I'm back up to like a 1.8. It's just weird.
I've been growing. I'm at D 3.48 for the road dirt license, and kind of hoping to bring that up and maybe fast track to C. But I don't even think there's a C series, so I'm not sure what that's going to do for me. But
Yeah, I feel like there's some kind of glitch or something with it because I had the same experience on I'm not the road side, but the oval side. Because I had an A license in both dirt and asphalt ovals, but my safety rating was cut from like a 3.5 to like a 1.2. I did one race with 0x, jumped it back up to 3.6, did a second race with 2x, and dropped it back down to a 2. So there's really big swings right now, at least on the dirt oval side.
yeah,
Yes, I think something's going on there.
yeah, that's what David was experiencing too. And I don't know. Like I said, I haven't been able to figure out exactly what they're doing or how it's broken or what, but it's not right. That's for sure. So let's talk about the handbrake thing. I'm using a button on the steering wheel, and I am finding it helpful in certain corners on certain tracks. But if you try to overuse it, you're going to end up in the wall. That's for sure. William, you ended up getting a joystick just for this, right?
Yeah, I picked up a joystick, which was nice because it gave me a couple extra buttons to map when I'm in my VR headset. But yeah, there's only a few corners that I like using it, and I try not to use it I try to use it as little as possible because as fun as it is, it does slow you down. But yeah, there's very few corners. I just wasn't a fan of having a button because I couldn't really feel what I was doing. I felt like I could abuse the button a little too much. So the joystick's been a nice addition.
Yeah. Yeah, the real slow, real sharp, kind of 90-degree turns. If you can just kind of approach that turn and just stab the button just for a second, the back end will turn out on you and just turn that car. And these cars are hard to turn. I think David, I think that was your first reaction when you got into the VW Beetle. You told us this thing won't turn.
Oh yeah, the car's great in a straight line. The minute you need to slow that thing to turn, you better be hitting that brake and downshifting and praying you make it to to make the turn. And that's what I was doing, and it was still I still looked like a snail out there. Guys were going by me like it was, like I don't know. I just know I'm slow.
Yeah, there's a lot of speed to be gained, especially for me too. And I feel I can get around the track pretty good. My best finish so far is a second in the feature, and I did win a heat race. And so I'm pretty proud of those results. Still waiting for that first feature win, though. But yeah, loving it. I'm loving it. This is great for the off season to get some dirt fix. All right, let's jump to topics. Tony, you got the first one.
Yeah, I'm having some technical issues here, but I think I got things going. Apparently, there's a bug that's causing the consolation races to be skipped. Um, oh, I know they'd put out a hot fix for the. Was this part of the hot fix?
Yeah,
Did
I think
this?
so. And today's topics are all chronological. I didn't try to sort them. And so these first ones we're reading were at the beginning of the week, right after the build. And you'll see as we go down the list, yeah, they fix a lot of these. A bunch of these things are bug reports. But yeah, for a while, in certain races, that consolation wasn't working.
Okay, now I didn't experience any of that. Did you end up getting hit by that bug?
I didn't, but it was all over the forums apparently. So,
That was
um,
actually that first race we did, Mike, when we were in the lobby together, and they crashed out of the consolation race, and we just got stuck there.
oh, that's right. And we just had to wait and wait, and then we left the race, right?
Yeah, yeah. We I think 3 cars made the consolation race, and they all ended up wrecking out. The timer ran down, and then it just stayed there, kind of like in limbo, and it didn't start the main up.
Right. Yeah, the timer ran down like 10 minutes. And I think we were talking at the time. They got to fix that. Like when people wreck out, they need to advance the session to the next one.
I actually did a midget race this morning where they actually skipped a whole heat race because there wasn't enough cars. So I think they might have got some of that sorted out.
Yeah, you're right. I think they put that into the hot fix. All right.
New build, new bugs.
Yeah, exactly right. All right,
But
I'll take the next one here. Uh, well, talking about the new A car changes, which were extreme apparently, but what do you guys think? I mean, initial impressions are very promising. It's kind of the what I heard in the forums. The fixed Atlanta set is tight. Um, and so, what do you guys think? We have an open set from an anonymous donor that we're going to run tonight for the pro race. Um, David, you were telling me you couldn't drive it; it was too loose. But what do you think of the fixed?
I didn't really run the fixed. I was trying to get a handle on the anonymous donor set, and I just couldn't. And I'm gonna run the fixed, but I mean the fixed has always been tight. Doesn't matter if it's a new build or not.
Yeah. Uh, it's hard for me to tell. I've obviously practiced the car, okay? But until you're in a race, I don't know if you can tell what you got. And that's what I'm looking forward to tonight. We're going to run the pro race at Atlanta. I hope I'm going to get a good feel for this car and what these changes have done to the racing and to the car itself. So right now, I'm kind of up in the air. I don't really understand what we got. All right, William, you want to pick up next one?
Yeah, so we had Steve Myers in the forums talk about some new GRC content or stuff they were working on. They were actually working on a Brands Hatch rallycross track that they kind of had to set off to the side because they were having issues with the Joker section. But it is nice to know that they have more content coming down the pipe for rally because it's been a huge success so far. So good to know we got some more tracks on the way. Hopefully.
Yeah. Yeah, Brands Hatch, it appears they have a running model of it. They just got to finish it. I actually ended up buying content. Surprise! I bought the Lucas Oil Raceway IRP because we were running it in the Global Rallycross, and I wanted to run Global Rallycross. I wasn't going to go the whole night without running it, so I bought a track, and boy, that was fun. That particular track is fast. I mean, you go up on the oval, and then you got to shut it down real quick and turn left off the banking, and boy, that is some corner.
Yeah, I love that. Right after the jump, you get a really big right hand sweeping corner on dirt. I really enjoyed that corner. And then that was actually one of the few times I actually used the e-brake was to kind of hit that hairpin right after that.
Right,
That
to
was,
spin the car around.
yeah, because you go from a big right hand sweeping corner to like just a really sharp left hander to get back onto the oval portion of the track.
The other thing in the forums is Steve Myers has been encouraging people to come up with ideas of which tracks can we add a global rallycross to. Because the nature of global rallycross is these are temporary tracks, so they're not really scannable. And so, like the one they did at Phoenix, for example, is kind of an imaginary track, so to speak. I don't think they've actually run a track like that. iRacing built it, and so the talk is they're going to build other tracks, that we already have existing in the system.
Well,
Yeah,
wouldn't that?
that's. Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say, wouldn't that be wouldn't it be kind of neat? We get some good configurations out there, iRacing side, and then GRC actually implements them in real world.
Right. They're like, well, this works. Let's try it.
Yeah, I keep forgetting it's like, oh, they have a new track. Oh, let me see where it is, and I realize I keep forgetting I have that track already. So I've already got I have Phoenix
And
stuff like
Daytona.
that and
Right.
Daytona. So it's like, where are these new tracks? And I forget that already have them. So, but Mike, what you need to do is you need to get the sprint cars. You need to get over to the oval side and run with me and Will.
Yeah.
It's where the real fun is.
Yep. All right, Tony, pick up the next one, please.
Yeah, I'm sure this is pertaining to like right out of the gate at GRC, but there was a couple of problems that popped up with Phoenix, and I heard a lot of chatter over the headset about it. The first one being start qualifying from the oval pit road. Now, I'm pretty sure what they're talking about is where do you go once you get off a pit road? It was kind of tricky because you had to make that turn right by the trailer, but maybe they could have put an arrow up or something so you kind of knew where to go to get on track. And the other one is there's the long sweeping dirt corner with gravel on the outside. There's some complaints about it being exploited because apparently there's a lot more grip on the gravel rather than on the dirt. And I can definitely say I spent a lot of time in that gravel, and I did find a lot of extra grip there.
Yeah, but by going that far wide, I don't think there's an advantage, even though there's more grip. I mean, you're losing so much, distance from the guy who's running down the inside. I don't think there's an advantage, in my opinion, but
Well, I know for me, I was able to get a lot more speed coming out of that corner. So right after that corner, there's those like little S's, and I was able to catch up and pass a car or two doing that. Now I hit the gravel just because I'm not a very good driver on that stuff yet, but I kind of was able to use it to my advantage.
yeah. And then I think I told you the first time you came off pit road where to, look for the truck and turn left. And if I wouldn't have said that, I'm not sure, Tony, you would have found the track.
Oh no, I'd have been friggin' running around everywhere trying to figure out how to how to do this stupid qualifying lap.
Yep. So they fixed that. The other next topic, movable tires seem to have a bug when it comes to resetting. They have these big O stacks of tires, the kind of blue stack wrapped in like bisqueen, and you run into them and they'll bounce and move a little bit and kind of, move around. In fact, they can get moved right out into the middle of the track, and I've run into them, and it's really hard to miss them sometimes. But apparently there was a bug was when they would reset, they were resetting back into the middle of the track apparently. And so there was at least one bug report about that. I don't know if I saw that, but I did see them get sent into the middle of the track, and you definitely have to avoid them.
I actually ran into a bug where it was at Daytona and you kind of go through that S just before the jump, and somebody pushed the tires into the middle of the jump. So I went on the left side of them, which would have been cutting the course if they were in their initial spot. But because they were moved, it was well in the middle of the course and actually penalized me for cutting the course. And I assume it's because it just registered me on the inside of those tires.
Yeah, and that's kind of weird. They need to fix that.
I need to do more of it to really see how it is. I just once a week, I tried to do a bit of it, but like I said, I was so slow. I just went to practice, and then since week 13's come and gone, I'm like, ooh, dirt oval. Let me do that instead.
And for as many bugs as it has, to be honest, it's been a lot of fun. I feel like we've been given like every other bug out there, but it's still a lot of fun.
Oh yeah. And let's talk about the racing just a little bit. I think I described it as dirty pool racing. There's a lot of take out there, and you're going to get run over. You're going to get sideswiped and pushed into the wall. And guess what? You're going to do it to other people too, because that's kind of the nature of this racing. And you just kind of have to deal with it when it happens to you. But it is a give and take, and it seems to come around. What comes around goes around. And I've had a problem with getting wrecked in the first lap of the feature. It seems like the first corner, first lap, I'm always getting spun out. and then having to try to come back from the back. And but what do you guys think of the racing? Is there any courtesy out there in GRC?
I didn't personally see a whole lot of courtesy, but I gotta kind of admit I really enjoyed it. I really like that banging
Yeah,
doors
it's
with
it's kind
guys,
of
and
fun.
yeah. I mean, like, bring it. Get a little aggressive, and it's a total change from what we're used to, trying to do in the NIS. It's nice to get out some frustration.
Yeah, and you don't get worried about like, oh, I'm going to rub him and damage my car and I'm done for the day, like we do in NASCAR. It's not like that. And I kind of like the damage model in GRC because you can really rough these cars up and they'll still go.
Yeah, my very first heat race, I rolled it before the start finish line, and still managed to finish the race. So that was kind of embarrassing, but I still managed to finish and transfer, so that was fun.
Yep. All right, Will, you want to pick up next?
Actually, if you want to grab this one, Mike, I'm reading through it. I'm a little confused on this topic.
This
here.
one is if okay, so you know how the spotter has a button that you can map where or there's a check mark in options where it will announce the lap time each and every lap to you, what your lap time is as you went by the start finish line. Well, apparently if you had that turned on or hit the button that turned it on, it would crash the iRacing service, the game. And so the fix is turn that off. Don't do that. I don't know if they got it fixed in the patch or not, but there were a lot of people saying that was a problem.
Okay, yeah, I was reading through this and I was having a hard time understanding what was going on, and that's actually a pretty big bug there for it to crash the whole thing.
Yeah. Yeah, and I don't have it turned on, so I didn't experience it, but apparently some people have. All right, you want to get the next one?
Yeah, so David Tucker posted up some of the new call-outs for the GRC when it comes to whether you've taken your Joker lap or not, or if you've taken too many. So they
Spotter
post
stuff, right?
Yeah, they post up the spotter stuff, which hopefully will allow stuff like the Jimmy Johnson Cuss pack to kind of update, get these file names filled in, so we could use some of the custom spotters. But it was
Yep.
nice of them to post that up.
Yep. And in fact, I actually reached out to the Jimmy Johnson Cuss Pack guy on Facebook this week, and I asked him, "Are you going to update your spotter pack to include this GRC stuff?" And he said, "Absolutely." So he's already working on it.
That's awesome, because now as we're banging doors and probably getting swore at from other drivers, now we can also get swore at from the spotter.
Right. And I think he mentioned something in one of the comments was, now I got to, pour through all kinds of hours of audio of Chad Knaus to find him say the word Joker. So that's what he's worried about, is getting him, an audio clip of him saying the word Joker.
Chad Knaus uses a lot of colorful language, so I'm sure he won't have too hard of a time finding that somewhere. Calling somebody a Joker, I'm sure.
Right. All righty. So, Tony, what do you got next?
Well, another bug, but this time it's on the NASCAR side, involving getting a full fuel fill. It was messing with the pit times. You end up spending about 20 or 25 seconds in the pits. Now they said it should be fixed in today's hot fix build, and sorry, that would be the hot fix one, which has already happened, and it looks to be that it's already, it has been addressed and fixed.
All right. All right. And William, what do you got next?
So they actually had a hot fix. I believe it was actually the day after the update, and they actually ended up posting kind of like the change log of everything that went on. I know so far we've referenced the heat racing and consolation. It looks like all of that was resolved in the hot fix. They did take care of the 25-second pit stop to refuel. Some handbrake calibration was adjusted. Spotter calls were adjusted as well. So it looks like they fixed through quite a bit of the bugs. They updated season setups for the NIS cars. Looks like the Xfinity cars. So yeah, they did quite a few hot fixes pretty quick.
Yep, they're really good about doing that. All right, next up was Tony Gardner saying, honest mistake. Sorry, we're busy. The person in charge of paying out credits at the end of the season did not get it done. So we are going to work on that. And apparently the credits that get issued for participation will be coming if they're not out already. So be aware of that. They just didn't show up when they normally do. There was actually another post, I don't know if I have it on the list, about somebody asking, is NIS going to get a payout? Because at some point they said if you run 30 out of 36 weeks of NIS, you can also get participation credit. So I haven't seen any, and I've certainly done at least 30 weeks. I think I did 35 or 36. So that'd be cool to get. We'll see.
That would be nice. Get a little bit of credits.
I always thought it was unfair for the NIS guys who don't run the weekly or the 13-week schedules, because all the people running the 13-week schedules, yeah, they're getting paid, but if you're just running NIS, you weren't. So it'd be nice if they just threw us a bone.
Yeah, it took me. This is actually the first time I've ran enough races in a weekly series to get credits. I wasn't sure how that worked out, and it came, I think, like a day or two after the update, which is all appreciated. I already bought all the content I needed from the update, so now I got a couple extra credits there. I might host a race or pick up another car, but yeah, I was a little curious on how that works, because this is the first time I've ran enough races in a week to be eligible for those.
Right. Yep. So just save it. Sit on it for next time something comes out. All right, Tony, what's next?
Well, there was a question posed on the forums asking if iRacing's ever inked a deal with FIA and WRC. And very simple answer. Well, Steve Miner's post is it's got a terrific partner with Red Bull GRC, so don't get your hopes up for FIA getting involved. That does not mean that we are not open to doing European tracks for our GRC series. So if you have some you like in particular, let me know. I have reached out to a few already, but they don't seem to be too well staffed in the front office.
All right. So no FIA Rallycross is kind of what I'm hearing.
Yeah, plus the FIA as a whole are just sticklers and a pain in the ass. I mean, Formula One gets annoyed at them, and that's who they mainly sponsor. So,
Yeah, maybe we don't want to be involved. Is that what you mean?
yeah, their governing body's a mess. Like every time I watch Formula One, all you hear is about is just like, well, we can't implement the changes we'd like to make because the FIA doesn't ratify them because of certain teams and blah blah blah. It's like it's all politics and nothing ever gets done.
Well,
yeah, it's like a giant bureaucracy. It's kind of, from my understanding, everything's just kind of gets clogged up in there.
their style of global rallycross was what I thought we were going to get when they initially announced this, where you're going down a dirt road. It's not like a enclosed course like inside of a Daytona oval. It's like you're going down a 10-mile road, from point A to point B.
Like actual rallycross.
Right. And so I wonder if we're ever going to get that, or I guess I'm dreaming.
I feel like we should at some point, because the license class only goes from rookie to D at the moment, and I think that would be like the next logical
the next one,
step.
B and A, yeah.
Yeah, to have like a B than A, where you're, instead of being in an enclosed course, you're going down a 5-6 mile stretch of road. But typical rally, you have a co-pilot calling out, and that's just a whole nother bag of animals.
It is.
But
it's completely different. But from what I've seen, it looks absolutely awesome.
Right. All right, I got next topic. Some people couldn't run iRacing after the update, and it turns out they don't have the right operating system installed on their computer. One guy said was running Windows 7 Service Pack 1. And guess what? We do not support that OS, nor does Microsoft. Microsoft hasn't supported it for over 4 years. And so we're telling these people, you got to update your OS, your Windows.
You got to
They
get
don't
the
support
Windows 10.
Windows 8. Yeah, you can use 8.1, but you can't use 8. And you can use 7 as long as it's updated to the latest version. So I'm still on 7, but I am updated. So, but apparently a lot of people still are running that old stuff. And, Randy Cassidy put in this forum post, come next season, if you fail to update your OS, you will no longer be able to run the sim. And so they put out workarounds the last couple builds for these people, but they're basically saying next time, you're done.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how limiting it is when they do updates, but it seems like something like you got to keep moving forward with the sim, or you're just gonna get left behind.
Right. All right, Tony, what do you got next?
Oh, looks like another question posed on the forums. Looks like somebody wants somebody else to race with their account, or asking if it's allowed. And no, it's not allowed. However, there is a little sidestep to that. They say, however, it is okay and encouraged to let a non-member try iRacing using their account under all of the following conditions. For limited demonstration and trial purposes only, on the member's own computer and equipment, at the member's usual geographic racing location, in single car testing mode only, and for non-commercial purposes only.
Okay, so the clarification of that rule. It's kind of nice to see that in writing.
Yeah, Mike, I was actually going to ask about that because I had a buddy that I've been trying to get over my house to show him iRacing, specifically the dirt stuff, because he's interested in both the NIS and the dirt. And I'm trying to actually help him build a computer here in the next couple of months. We're going to get him a wheel, and I'm going to get him into the team. But I want him to see this before he drops serious money into the sim to be like, is this something you really want to do? And that's what I was going to do, just do a bunch of test builds in dirt, trucks, stuff like that, and help him.
Yeah, you can test all day long. What the original op was asking was, hey, it was something like, I want to run oval. My buddy only wants to run road. We're going to share the hardware and account. Can we do that? Something like that. And basically, Tony said no.
Gotcha.
That seems like a situation where it's probably better to ask forgiveness than permission, because I don't know if they have a way to track it if you're on the same hardware. Especially because they rank and rate oval and road separate.
Right. How would they know? Exactly. They don't know who's sitting down at the computer. So, but it does break the spirit of the rule. All right, Will, what's next?
So Chase Briscoe posted that he's going to be trying out a R-Laps sim at the PRI show, Performance Racing. I didn't really get to find any footage of him actually driving it, but those simulators, they looked really nice.
Yeah, Kaz Gralla, Chase Briscoe, these guys are all at that trade show, and all they're worried about is let's go run iRacing while we're there. And there were some pretty cool rigs set up.
Yeah, they looked like full motion rigs. You can kind of see they have the shock absorbers mounted to the back of the seat. So
and the slip, the left to right slip, it looks like on the back too. Now these simulators are put out by a company called Race Like a Pro Simulators, or RLAPS as you called it. They have a website, rlaps.com, where you can look up more information about their simulators. And they're pretty cool looking. They look pretty nice. They're all made out of metal and it looks like they're welded together.
Yeah, they look really cool. They're not made to look super pretty from the pictures I'm seeing here. Like you could still see like the metal's all
Functional.
exposed and yeah, but super functional, super sturdy. It actually looks kind of like if like Mad Max had a simulator. It's kind of what I feel like it would look like.
Yeah, and a real racing seat, a proper NASCAR racing seat. Yeah, pretty good stuff. Check that out if you're in the market. Next topic, some discussion on Twitter about from Steve Myers saying he was talking to Chris Page from iRacing that over the last 2 days we've been handling over 1.8 million page requests per hour during peak times. And I think we all need to take a moment and thank iRacing. Guess what? We haven't had the website go down like it used to when they do a build or crash and not load and all those other things that typically used to happen. Guess what? I didn't see any of that at all this time.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, I saw over 7,000 people online, with I think over like a 700 in one GRC event alone, and I never experienced any issues, other than that weird constellation bug. For the most part, it was actually very successful.
Yeah. I don't think there's ever been as many people on the service as now. But kudos for the website guys, keeping that thing up and running, considering all the trouble they've had in the past.
Well, as technology improves, processes improves, and what was once hard programming is, a little bit easier due to improvements and things.
All right, I'm going to take this next one. I don't know if you guys know about this one, but next topic, Pretend Race Cars is being shut down December 7th. Pretend Race Cars is a website that was started by a disgruntled iRacing member that got kicked off the service. And I've followed this blog for the last few years, and I've actually used their stories once or twice on this very podcast. And so I thought we would mention it, that this guy is shutting the blog down finally. He wasn't very friendly with iRacing. Obviously, he got kicked off the service permanently, and he wrote a lot of negative things usually about iRacing. Like when a build would come out, he would put up an article, and it would have a lot of negative stuff. He was always the naysayer, so to speak. But I don't know. I guess it's kind of nice to see him go. I mean, he wasn't very nice about the people in the iRacing service, and I don't know if he put a lot of value out there with his blog, but he had people reading it. I mean, even myself, because you wanted to see what he had to say about it.
Yeah, actually, I'm kind of glad you did take that one there because up until now, I'd never even heard of this site. But yeah, it sounds definitely like this guy's got a beef, and he wanted the world to know about it.
Oh yeah, that's why he started the blog. I think was to complain about how he got booted off the service. But yeah, bye bye. All right, Tony, what's next?
Well, I guess there's another bug about getting stuck in the pits. Just yeah, if various things happen, they tell you to go, and you just couldn't go. There's quite a bit of chatter about it, and Jeff Rubin, staff member, came on and asked, "Hey, well, he was trying to trying to reproduce it, couldn't find it." Um, so member Joel Guez said, gave a list on how to do it. Go into test session on the Centripetal with the Global Mazda MX-5 Cup, exit the pit, uncheck tires, check the refuel, do a pit stop, wait 2 or 3 seconds, and then uncheck the refuel. After that, you'll see the lollipop bugging, and you'll be able to you'll be unable to start. Jeff Rubin followed those steps and right away found the bug. And well, he mentioned that they're going to get on it ASAP. I rifled through the post there to see if there was a fix for that. So I can't confirm.
I think it's
whether
still outstanding. Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm sure they're going to get on top of that one real quick. Stuff like that, they seem to be able to fix fairly fast.
And what an ecosystem we have where the users report a bug that the testers would never find. Oh, you got to go and pit and uncheck and recheck your tires and turn off the fuel and get back in the car, wait 3 seconds and check it again, and then it breaks. No, I mean the testers will never figure that out. So by having such a large user base and the forums, it's quite an ecosystem of software development. It's really the golden cow of software development that as a developer, you have a user base that provides real-time feedback on bugs that allow you to fix them and get them, straightened out right away. And it works. The system works.
Not just any feedback, Mike, quality feedback, because there's some games and there's some communities that are like, here's the bug. Okay, well, what did you do to get it? I don't know. Figure it out.
Right.
Well, just to kind of emphasize how well this whole system works, I'll give you a little bit of a timeline here. Okay, so on December 8th, Jeff Rubin posted, "Hey, I can't get this to happen," and he posted that at 5:25 p.m. The reply from Joel was at 6:15 p.m. And at 6:21 p.m., Jeff replied back saying, "Yes, I got it to happen, and so now we can move forward to try to fix this thing."
Real time, literally.
Yeah, I mean, within what is it, 6 minutes from the time that the post was made on how to do it, he got it to happen, and he already replied saying, "We're on it."
Yeah, and also kudos to iRacing for very carefully watching the forum post, and because they do weigh in on the forum posts when they should, and they obviously watch all of them, and pay attention, and they don't miss stuff like this. So yeah, kudos for sure. All right, I'll take the next one here. This one left. Well, actually, William, will you take the next one? I'm sorry, I'll take the one after that.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. So, Global Rallycross and Red Bull actually have a Fan Voice Friday on their website, and they posted up a poll of what's your favorite iRacing track. So we got the results from that. I didn't get to see how many people voted, but we have Daytona International Speedway, the long version at 17%, the short version at 15%, Iowa Speedway at 25%, Lucas Oil Raceway at 15%, and Phoenix at 28%. So
Phoenix wins.
Yeah, I would say Phoenix is up there on my favorite. I kind of like Lucas Oil a little more, and I think being paid content, I wasn't surprised that was a little lower on the list. But I know I really like Phoenix too, so.
Yeah, I think Phoenix is probably my favorite out of all of them. I haven't tried Iowa, to tell you the truth, but I have done all the others. The other thing about this post at Red Bull Global Rallycross.com is they have great pictures, overhead pictures of the actual Global Rallycross tracks, the ones you just mentioned. And it's kind of neat to see an overhead, like a blimp view of it. I don't know if I've taken the time to stop and take a look at it, and they look pretty cool.
Yeah, it's funny because they look really different than you think they would when you're driving them. I'm having a hard time, because I've driven on every track, and I'm having a hard time telling which one's which if it wasn't for the caption. So shows
Right.
how well I know the tracks.
Yeah, they look quite different from the sky, that's for sure. All right, this next one, man, I laughed out loud. Ray Alfala put on Twitter this little short video. And he says, "What are we doing here? He's not even in the car." And it shows his car pulled up in the pit box with the pit crew standing on the wall ready to do service, and they're just standing there. They're just watching him. They're just looking. and they're just kind of jostling around, and then he kind of zooms out a little bit, and the guys behind the wall, they're just kind of standing there looking at each other like, what are we doing? It's hilarious. I don't know how to describe it, but it was so funny.
Yeah, those guys are so itching to get over that wall, and there's not even a driver in the Collie's car. He's probably off having a chicken sandwich. It's great.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
if
it's like
you want to laugh, check that out.
Yeah, the whole team's there ready to go, and those two guys in the background are just like staring at each other like, what's going on?
Yeah. So if you want to laugh, check Ray Alfala on Twitter. That was funny, Ray. Good job. That was some classic humor for sure. I'm going to take this next one, because this was a message from an ex-teammate, Jeff Walton. He used to be on Team Tifosi and on this podcast quite a bit. He sent me a message after the new build. He said they've been trying the A car at Daytona, or excuse me, Talladega, and found out the Chevy will not suck up to a two-car Toyota draft. They'll pull away for sure. They found out this using the fix set. They were running a race for Toys for Tots to raise some money. But anyway, they were in practice trying stuff. He said the ride heights are almost 6 inches in the front and almost 8 in the rear. So the nose is actually going under the car. And so he was basically saying Toyota cannot push a Chevy or something like that, or you would spin out. Now, I haven't tried any restrictor plate stuff or pushing, but apparently, according to him, there's some kind of problem. So we'll see. I guess we got Daytona coming up, not for a while, early February, so we got some time.
Yeah, maybe as as a team, we could get out onto a practice track and maybe test this theory. I know we all race different style cars, so yeah, it might be an idea.
Yeah. And I do think there might be something weird with the ride heights. I saw another post a couple weeks ago where the ride heights, they showed a picture of the A car, and it wasn't stuck to the ground like it's supposed to be. It was like way off the ground, the front of it. So there's something weird going on, I think. All right, Tony, what do you got next?
Oh, dirt rally cross track design contest? Question mark? What a fantastic idea! This is all just fantasy. Obviously, there's nothing been official posted about this, but it would be a really cool idea if iRacing threw together something like this. This fella Michaelette, he made the post and posted up. Oh, geez, I'm gonna butcher this guy's name, Ossian Puaka, and he just made up his own design using the New Hampshire road course. Really great. He's got a couple of jumps in there, even with a shark infested pool with some with a ton of fermented fish in there. There's a few other tracks posted up too from other people, their wishes and wants, and I know iRacing has asked for input. Well, what better input could you get from this? Some really great ideas going around.
Yeah, Rockingham, Irwindale. One guy has Irwindale at the figure 8 track, and you put a jump right at the joint of the figure 8, so they jump over the other part of the track. So yeah, lots of neat ideas, and this is so cool because iRacing can, build these fantasy tracks just like they did at Phoenix. Let's go to New Hampshire and build one. Why not? And so a lot of people are putting up an input on that. Kind of neat to check that out.
Yeah, and like another neat thing here that I saw some people were asking about. I guess they're a little more I'm not familiar with, but a little bit more famous tracks, Liddon Hill and Hell. So Steve Myers posted that he has reached out to both those tracks, and he's yet to hear a response from them. But maybe they seem to be quite popular, and yeah, it's a chance, I guess.
The guy did Las Vegas, Suzuka. Yeah, there's a lots of different ideas out here. So, pretty cool. All right, William,
Yeah.
what do you got next?
So, just a little discussion about the implementation of heat races. A couple people were kind of posting about how they should work, and it looks like, I believe Tyler Hudson posted back. They wanted to do a soft launch to make sure everything works right and work out all the kinks before they rolled it out to more series. And if I'm not mistaken, I'm going to scroll through the post here. I believe somebody mentioned the timeline from iRacing.
Well, what he said, they're going to launch heats for the World of Outlaw series, midgets, and D-Class GRC. And so they were asking, are we going to get it in these other, dirt oval series? And so it sounds like they're going to do that.
One of the things I picked up on, too, is he actually mentioned, that's what I was kind of looking for, was how much longer an event would take with heat races, because they didn't want any overlap. So say if you wanted to run, I believe I'm reading here, World of Outlaw, the super late model, that if you run it now, you have enough time to run the UMP modifieds, but if there's a heat race, there might be issues there. So it was kind of nice. I was looking for that where he mentioned that, but it was nice to know that they're actually putting a little extra thought behind that, because there are times where I know I'll want to run multiple races that are at the same time. And now that you involve heat racing, events are going to take longer. Stuff might start overlapping. And hurt participation overall.
Yeah. And I think what we learned yesterday, William, was when we ran the GRC rookie, they quit doing heat races there. It was just qualifying and race, right? And then the D, they actually had heat races.
Yeah, they took that away from the rookie class, and I know I hopped in a USAC 360 sprint car, and I expected hot laps, but there weren't any. But if you actually look next to the description or the little artwork for the series, it will show you a little flame if there's heat races or not. So there is a little indicator there.
Right. All right, Tony, what do you got next?
Crap, sorry, Mike, I lost my spot here.
We're talking the featured series, the season 1 featured series. Looks like they're going to give some money out to the winners of each division and class as well. So first place 25 credits, second 15 credits, third 10 credits. The featured series, NASCAR, Class C fixed trucks, and Spec Racer Ford Challenge.
Oh, now this is kind of a neat idea. This has to be new. I don't think I've seen this before. So each season we're going to get a new featured series to run, right?
Yep, and you can win money if you do well. So pretty cool. NASCAR fixed trucks. I mean, a lot of people run that. I think that's one of the most popular series on the service. So check that out. Now there was a Twitter that came out today about this as well, but now don't be confused. So what I just described was the 12-week season of the truck series. You can win if you win your division. You can win money, but they also have a thing with time attack. Okay, a different thing. If you do time attack, and the featured series there are Porsche Cup trucks and dirt late model, all fixed. And if you do well there, you can win $1,000 in the time attack if you finish first in a featured time attack series at the end of the season. $1,000.
That's kind of neat. Now, going back to this trucks there, you said it's in each division. Now that's awesome. I mean, those are going to make those races really interesting.
Yeah, I mean, how many divisions? 7 or 8 they're going to have. So they're paying out $25 to first place in each one of those, and so there's a lot of money out there to get. Yeah, pretty cool. And boy, I'm almost tempted to go for the time attack for the truck series. I can probably put a lap up, but I don't know if I'd be fastest, but I'll try for $1,000.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was gonna go for the limited late model there.
Yeah, I mean, you might as well. What do you got to lose, right?
Right. Well, that's the whole idea. They're trying to drive participation. Might as well put up $1,000 and see if it works. Go get it, guys. All right, I'll take next one. Um, Somebody posted up in the forums kind of what we were talking about earlier with Global Rally, the dirty pool kind of racing. He says, "Hey, a little less brutal, people. I know it's new. I hope everyone calms down. I know it's early, but boy, last couple of races, I got punted more than a Detroit Lions football." And so a discussion anyway in the forums about the racing and is it too dirty? What's going on? Are people going to start filing protest? And that kind of thing. I hope they don't. I mean, I kind of think it needs to be full contact out there.
Yeah. I'm sure some of the things are going to calm down. I don't see that really happening in the rookie series, but as you move up, I mean, you're always going to have the bumping and banging. At least I would hope. I think that kind of adds a lot of the excitement to racing those tracks. But the rookie series, I'm sure you're just gonna get clobbered. Just have to figure a way to get around that and get out of the rookies.
Yeah. All right, Tony, what do you got next?
Oh, it's I made up a video of one of the races in the rally cross, and there's a lot of talk about this one about the damage modeling being a little inconsistent from what I gather. I didn't really notice it myself, but there's plenty of people here talking about that subject.
Yeah, Nick Neben, we put up who's done videos before. This is another great video he put up of, racing with a soundtrack, playing in the background kind of thing. And it's pretty cool to watch. And there's some full contact racing going on too that he's showing, which kind of illustrates what we've been talking about.
Yeah, the video is well put together, and I wish I kind of watching it as we're recording. I just didn't have enough time to be able to check it out with the sound and stuff. But yeah, it's some nice cuts, and it really shows kind of what's going on in a rallycross race on iRacing.
Yeah. All right, Will, what do you got next?
So Scott Speed did an article with a virtual racing school about kind of talking about global rallycross and how to be quick at it. It's actually a pretty good read. Scott Speed, I believe, has been the champion the last 2 years now.
3.
In global. Oh, is it 3 years? Yeah. So
I think so.
yeah, no, he's been getting it done in global rallycross, and I mean he's driven Formula One, NASCAR. So there's not a whole lot he can't do, but he talks about kind of the type of racing, and one thing he actually does mention is contact, and he says usually either you'll get a penalty or somebody will get you back, so it all kind of works itself out, which is kind of where we're at now in the sim. So, but yeah, he has a really good article here on the virtual racing school that just goes into just GRC in general for a lot of the newer fans or people who aren't aware of what's going on.
Yeah, and there towards the end of the article there was some good questions about iRacing in general and how he's using it, and he goes on to describe that he's been racing with his real life engineer, his car engineer Graham Quinn, and they race together in the iRacing series, and that they've been doing the Blank Pane Endurance Championship together as a team. And by doing the iRacing together, it's actually made their real life racing better because the communication gets better between them. So they're on team speak, they're racing iRacing together, then they go and race the global rallycross, and it's translating over that communication. Pretty cool. If you want to read about that, check it out at virtualracingschool.com. All right. Next up, I'll take, as we mentioned earlier, the Jimmy Johnson Cuss Pack is got a new update, and he updated just the new pit road sound. Now, I'm not sure if that's the air gun thing or what exactly he's referring to, but there is a new version out, so check that out. All right, Tony, what do you got next?
Oh, there's a Twitter post from Joe Gibbs Racing saying how much fun they had in their first JGR off-season action series race. I guess Denny Hamlin, Christopher Bell, Ryan Preece, and others joined us for the Cup Camrys at Rockingham in iRacing. Tyler Hudson takes home the win, and starts his stuff on iRacing. That's really cool. Like the whole Joe Gibbs team and friends, and out having a race. Great stuff.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. And I've actually watched part of, I think they've raced twice now. I have a friend on Facebook, Brian Wertman, who works for NASCAR. He's a NASCAR official. And anyway, he's been invited into this race with Joe Gibbs Racing. And he was running it, so there was a stream, and I watched part of it. I wanted to see how Denny Hamlin was doing. And when I was watching, Denny was like third or something, and he was running right there at the front, holding his own. But yeah, it's kind of neat to see these cup racers in iRacing mixing it up with us. So pretty cool league they got together at Joe Gibbs Racing.
Yeah, now that's neat. Now, how do we find out about these races so we can tune in and watch?
I would probably find Brian Wertman on Facebook. He's a great guy. He's been in iRacing forever, and I've known him for several years. So yeah, check him out. And he has a racing page where he puts up links and stuff. And then obviously you could follow Joe Gibbs Racing on Twitter, and they're going to post stuff about it as well. All right, William, you want to take the first hardware topic?
Yeah, so it looks like NVIDIA has announced a new graphics card, the Titan 5 or Titan V, the most powerful PC GPU ever created. And when you pull the article up, it says NVIDIA announces a $3,000 graphics card.
$3,000.
Is that it? Oh, it's the Titan 5. It's in gold. That's why.
Oh, it's gold and black.
For that
okay.
much, I expect it to be real gold.
That's crazy, dude.
It probably is real gold because real gold is actually a very good conductor for electricity.
Yeah, so it's saying NVIDIA claims it has up to 110 teraflops of performance from 21.1 billion transistors, 12 gigs of HBM2 memory, and 5,120 CUDA cores. I work with computers at work quite a bit, and even that sounded like a foreign language to me, but that does sound extremely powerful.
All that means is it'll have a lot of power and it has a lot of RAM. For example, I'm running a 970 and it only has 4 gigs of RAM, so it's 3 times as powerful as my current card.
Yeah, I think most cards are 3 or 4 gigs. This one's 12. That's crazy.
Current cards are up to 6.
Right. Well, if you're in the market for a new video card, man, that's something.
Yeah, nothing is, a small mortgage won't take care of.
All right, next topic. A video on Facebook on the Everything iRacing page. It's a video of the simcraft.com simulator. And this is a full motion rig. We've talked about it before, but this is the first time I've seen a video of it actually in a dirt car on a dirt track. And so they're showing him going around Eldora. And boy, what jumped out at me when I saw this video was, man, this cockpit is moving around. I mean, it is really moving because the dirt car is swinging left, right, all around. I couldn't believe how much movement I'm seeing. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, my first thoughts of watching this video and seeing this thing go, and excuse the language, but this is total badass. This thing is just throwing you around. That would be a lot of fun to sit in and try and race with.
Yeah, it'd be a lot of fun, Tony, but I don't think we'd be doing a lot of racing. I think we'd probably be doing a lot of crashing because I'm watching this dude right now, and it's just, damn, that is all over the place. He is. I mean, he's holding it. He's doing good, but yeesh.
It obviously makes it harder, you would think, to drive, because it's throwing you around like that.
He hit the wall twice.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I mean, you're gonna get in it, and your initial response is, yeah, you're being thrown around a lot. But I mean, after you take a few laps, get the feel for it, I'm sure your body will just come right into it. It's gonna feel like a real freaking car, just about.
What's neat about this cockpit is the monitors are attached. They move with the rig. So you see a lot of motion cockpits where the monitors are stationary, but the cockpit moves. But in this one, the monitors are part of the cockpit. They move with the cockpit.
Yeah. Now, like, I used to drive trucks for a living, and obviously I'm not going around a dirt track and doing all that other stuff, but you got an air ride seat and you go around some old country roads that are full of potholes or full of dips and dives and all kinds of silly stuff. I mean, you get tossed around in one of those big trucks, and you still don't have any problem hanging onto the steering wheel and keeping control of your truck. So I'd have to imagine this would be a similar thing. You just gotta take a few minutes to kind of get used to the movement.
Yep. Simcraft.com. All right, Tony, tell us about the next topic here. Another motion rig. This time from Canada.
Holy cow, Canada stepping up. Yeah, this is kind of cool. This comes out of Montreal. It's a motion simulator for sim racing at an affordable price. And the website is very rudimentary, but the pictures that they show, uh, the rigs, they're not bad, and they start out anywhere from like super basic with just a couple of actuators, right up to well, customize it however you want. They'll do anything you're looking to get done. But price wise, I mean, the base model is $3,500, and motion rigs, that's pretty damn cheap to get you going.
Yeah, 3,500 looks like you can go up to about 5,000 or more, depending on what you want. But yeah, they got the spring, or I should say, like shock absorber things on the back corners of the seat, to move the seat about.
Yeah, so they call them they're two ultra fast 150 millimeter actuators, and they come with 20 motion profiles. So not 100% what that all that sounds like or looks like, but you're getting a fair amount of movement from what I'm seeing.
Yeah, pretty cool. And yeah, if you're in Canada and you want a motion rig, you might check this out. Because what are the advantages of buying within the country, Tony? You don't have to pay a special tax or something?
Well, the shipping kills us, and the duty kills
Duty,
us.
right.
Duty sucks.
So you wouldn't have to pay duty if you bought something like this, right?
Right. The shipping, well, I mean, quite frankly, they like to rook us for that as well. So may not save a whole lot on shipping, but the duty that's worth quite a few dollars, especially when you're talking a couple of grand and you're talking about technology and electronics and stuff.
Right.
So what you're really saying, Tony, is if we want one, we're going to pay as much in shipping as we did for the actual product. Thanks,
The duty
Canada.
only goes one way. I don't think we pay duty if it comes from Canada to us.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I'm not sure how it works. We've got a really stupid system. That's all I gotta say about that. Sucks.
All right. I'm glad you got that topic. All right, William, final topic. What do you got?
All right, so HPP Simulations actually posted up their new wheel. They're known for having some really top of the line hydraulic pedals, and we've been talking about this wheel for a couple weeks now. But they actually put a photo out, put some specs on it. They call it the HSW-F Formula Sim wheel. It's CNC'd machined out of aircraft grade aluminum. It has a SLI Pro display, which would give you like your RPMs, your gear, all of that good stuff. It comes standard with that display. Two 12-position rotaries for the display. 8 push buttons, or momentary push buttons. 2 two-way toggle switches. 3 rotary encoders with tactile feedback. And 2 integrated paddle shifters. Has a single USB connection to PC, cable included. And it is made out of the HPP quality and design. So, yeah, they're definitely known for having some of the best hydraulic pedals. And this is their first shot at a wheel. And it's formula style, which isn't everyone's cup of tea, but it is a very, very nice looking wheel.
It better be for that price. So it's for sale. You can get on their website, hppsimulation.com, $1,490. And that's just the steering wheel, folks. That's not a base. That's just the wheel.
Yeah, you tack on that that graphics card we were talking about. Man, you're business. This is actually pretty neat because we've been following this wheel for quite some time now, and they've kept us well updated throughout the build of this wheel. So we can we got to see each step and saw the cool stuff that they've done with it, and now we've got the final product. It's not just a mock-up or anything like that. This is what it looks like, and it does it looks, it's a very nice looking wheel. Obviously it's going to be super sturdy and well put together, but yeah, that price tag's huge.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, we saw that other wheel a couple weeks ago. I forget who it was from, but it looks almost the same, and it was like $180. And this one looks almost the same, and it's $1,500. And so, what are you getting for $1,500? I'm not sure. I mean, probably a little bit better quality, obviously, but that's a big jump in price. I didn't expect it to be that high.
Yeah, I think it was the Fanatec, the McLaren wheel last week we talked about, which is
Right.
very similar to this one. I think this one looks like it has a couple more bells and whistles as far as knobs, which you could program, but yeah, that is a big price difference. Hopefully somebody posts something on YouTube with the comparison between the two. So
Yeah,
I'm sure there's a reason, but
somebody
yeah,
will buy it.
yeah, someone will.
Well, yeah, I mean, being made from like everything, it's all CNC and it's aircraft grade aluminum. I mean, you're racing, you lose by inches, or somebody rams you off the track just being a total nub. You get pissed off, you huck your steering wheel across the room. It's probably going to make to see another race.
Yeah, I don't think I'd buy this. I mean, I liked his product and everything. Man, that's a lot of money for just a wheel without a base. Man. All right, let's get into final thoughts. David Flowers, what do you got?
I'm glad they finally got the dirt licenses out. I am definitely going to be hard charging up the oval side and taking a look at Rallycross as well. Definitely waiting for the 24 hours of Daytona and waiting for the Daytona 500. That's all I got.
All right. Yes, on the dirt licenses, that's big. Tony Groves, what do you got?
Well, looks like my personal life's starting to slow down here a little bit, and thankful for that, because I've been really missing jumping in and getting a bunch of racing done. But holy cow, we got a whole lot of stuff, new stuff going on, dirt stuff. I'm thinking of purchasing some more content here. I'd like to get into some more of the oval, and I might pick up another GRC track that's just crazy amount of fun. So all in all, I'm just looking forward to getting some more racing done, and really start fleshing some of this new content out for myself.
Yep. Yeah, it's been fun this week. William Gibson, what do you got?
Yeah, no, I'm excited to get going in this season. Unfortunately, I'm gonna have to miss tonight's pro race, but it's been actually a ton of fun with these new licenses. I know I've been working with David to try to get him up to speed on the dirt side of things, and I've been working on a lot of paints and stuff like that for the team and the podcast. So no, I've been having a ton of fun. I wish work would slow down a little bit here, but I got about another couple weeks before it slows down for me. But I feel like now's probably the best time to be a member on iRacing, and between all the updates and everything they have going on, it's I'm really excited for this NIS season to come.
Yep, absolutely. And yeah, for my final thoughts, Road to Pro tonight. I'm glad it's back. I didn't like that we had an off week there. I don't mind running this race once a week, so excited to get it back going. Excited to see what I think of the A car after actually racing it in a race and see what these changes are all about. You know, they redid all the aero and various other things. So excited about that, and you know, a new breath of fresh air with this dirt road license and the dirt rallycross. I didn't think I would be into it. I mean, I wasn't really excited about it. It was like, you know, ho hum. But once it came out and I tried it, I'm hooked, and I've been racing it every chance I get. And that's neat because I haven't been doing that a lot. You know, I run a few times a week. I run NIS. I run Carb Cup, Pickup Cup, stuff like that. But now I got Global Rallycross, and now that I have a separate dirt oval license, I'll probably start running that too. I'm thinking about running the midget car. I haven't bought anything, but that's probably the one I'm gonna buy. Dave, you were talking the wing sprint though, right?
Yeah, don't worry about the midgets, Mike. Get the wing sprints and let's do this.
There you go. So,
Because I know you're hooked on rallycross, but the minute because the wing sprints are you can learn, and it's not like the street stock, and it's not like the legend. Like, you can get these things sideways and they hold, and trust me, man, once you do that, you're going to be hooked, and they have a race every hour.
yeah. And I'm not afraid of wrecking out of those because it's a dirt oval license. It doesn't affect my pavement oval license, which is what I was worried about. I have a big I rating there for me anyway, and I don't want to ruin it. And so I'm so happy they got the new licenses out for that. So, yep, it's going to be good. Let's keep it going, guys. All right, with that, we'll see you later. Thank you for listening to the iRacers Lounge podcast. Make sure to go subscribe to us on iTunes, SoundCloud, or Google Play, Facebook, and Twitter. See you on the track.